Hello, everyone out there in internet land. This is Kip, and you're watching America Bumper to Bumper, and this is Car Chat with Kip and Gracie. So today we're gonna do some interesting short stories that I found. We're gonna talk about some upcoming videos. We're gonna talk about some a whole bunch of stuff, and the real reason why she's actually sitting here on this one is we just saw over the past couple days the new Transformers movie, Bumblebee, and we're gonna talk about that and give our review. Talk about the cars that are in there, and yeah, we'll do that. So. We're going to start off with... I always like to start off with a recall. This is another one, a recall that probably none of my viewers will have to worry about. But if you do own a 2017 or 18 Porsche Panamera, there's some of them that are being recalled for power steering issues. 75,000 examples. Of those vehicles, about 18,000 of them are located here in the U.S. And there is issue stems from software controlling the power steering. Porsche discovered a potential software failure in the field that may cause a power steering to disappear or kick in and out intermittently. This means the driver may need to exert extra force to maneuver the vehicle and increase the risk of collision. Thankfully, Porsche has received no reports of injury related to the software bug. Yay! So, if you are a lucky person that owns a 2017 or 18 Porsche Panamera, you might get a something in the mail saying you need to get your car looked at. Other thing I'm going to talk about now... We've talked in the past few shows about different cars that are coming up for auction or have been through auction recently. The big auction that's coming up next month will be the Barrett Jackson in Scottsdale. And this report I found on Autoblog is of another car that's coming up for auction. It's not going to be at Barrett. It will be at Gooding and Company's Scottsdale auction. And this one is a neighbor Meg, how are you? 1964 Ferrari 275 GTB prototype that was raced in the Monte Carlo Rally. And they're expecting it to sell for about $8 million. And let's do it. And that's what she looks like. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Waiting to hear back from Delaney about being safely back in your neck of the woods. So hopefully we'll hear that soon. Her train's supposed to get in about 10 minutes or so. So we had Delaney, who was, as you guys may know, our other... she's almost there. At least that's what we keep hearing. She was here for the short Christmas time break. By the way, Merry Christmas, everyone. Forgot to do that earlier. Anyways, that Ferrari that I showed you just a second ago. It is a prototype that was built by Ferrari one and only prototype of the 275 GTB model line. This was the car that was used to develop the new sports car, as well as several of the features that were firsts for the brand, including independent rear suspension and a rear transaxle. It was also a test bed for a 3.3 liter V12 that would be used in the 275. The other thing that makes this car special, as you saw by the lights on the front of it, it is a race car as well. It was raced in the 1966 Monte Carlo Rally. So yeah.
I'm good. Hi.
So neighbor Meg, we're gonna talk in a bit about Bumblebee, and I'm not sure if I know that you and Lainey are gonna go and watch it. So if you haven't seen it yet. We'll give you,
if you don't want spoilers,
we'll give you some heads up, and you might want to get off before we start talking about it. But that's going to be in a few minutes, okay? Another car. It's not technically. It's on an auction site. Bring a trailer, I think is what it is. But the 4th gen Supra is starting to sell for really crazy money. That's the the Fast and the Furious styled Supra, and mostly I believe it's because of the Furious. So this one here, the red Supra here is a '94. It only has 7,111 miles on it. And it's getting really close to $100,000 on Bring a Trailer. Well, see, the thing is, a clean version, like that hasn't been Fast and Furious, they're very, very rare now, because everybody's done the Fast and Furious crap to the Supras. Mm-hmm. So finding an all original, low mileage Supra. They're becoming harder and harder to find. And it says this one has really nice leather interior, and the car has not been used, abused, or modified in any way. Still has the original 17-inch wheels and the Toyota CD cassette stereo head unit. So it's still pretty amazing.
I wouldn't spend that much money for a car. It's a very average-looking car.
Yeah. I don't think I'd spend $100,000 on that car. I'd spend it on something that's got a lot more class, like a classic, Camaro or something.
Oh, thank you. The sweater is something that Fanny got me for Christmas. So.
Yeah, and she's had that shirt forever.
Oh yeah, since last Christmas or last birthday.
Something like that. Yeah. Now we're going to take a couple moments, bow our heads, and say goodbye to 16 vehicles that we have lost in 2018.
They're getting rid of the bug?
Okay, so, Gracie, if you want to scroll, once I get that thing flipped around, okay.
Through the images? Or?
Yeah, do that. Number 1, the Ford Fiesta. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Was that one of the twins in one of the Transformers? Is that right?
Maybe. Anyways, the subcompact segment continues to shrink, and with the loss of the Ford Fiesta, there are fewer affordable cars on the market, which is an absolute truism. This also means we say goodbye to the fun little Fiesta ST, reducing the number of choices for consumers to have an affordable sporty car. The Chevy Volt. The Volt was never expected to be a long-term car. It was just kind of a Chevy test bed for an electric car, and now that they've got a SUV, these things don't sell worth any beans, so they're going away as well. Yeah, you can hit the
really?
Yes. Same reason as the Ford Fiesta. Ford is basically getting out of the sedan market in the U.S. They're going to be mostly trucks and SUVs and the Mustang, and I thought at one point they were going to keep the Focus, but maybe they're doing something else. But it's one that's going away as well. Oh, I love me my wagons. And it's sad to hear that the BMW 3 Series wagon is going away. but I'm sure it has a lot to do with the sales, versus SUVs. You get the same sort of space out of an SUV, but I'm more particular for sport wagon. Bummer. Ford Fusion, same reason as all the other Fords in there.
You just decided to stop doing them?
Yeah, Ford has decided.
Jesus Crow.
Yeah, Ford is getting rid of a lot. Like I say, they're focusing on trucks and SUVs and the Mustang. There might be one more like sedan that they're gonna keep around, but everything else they have axing and.
Are they going down the drain or something?
They have not had a very good year. We'll say that.
Okay.
But none of the domestic manufacturers have had really well. Actually, I guess Chrysler is the one that's been doing the best out of
really
the big three right now, which is kind of odd. But yeah,
I haven't even heard of half of these cars.
Yeah, they don't sell a whole ton of them. This, I think, the Chevy Impala is one that has been circling the drain for many years. You don't get a ton of more extra space out of an Impala over a Malibu nowadays. So, yeah, I mean, it's the whole market shift to SUVs. I think it's silly, though. I think that General Motors, or at least one of the three, needs to keep making sedans, because once gas starts going up again, people are going to start shoving off on the SUVs and want to get something that's more fuel efficient, which sedans generally are. Buick LaCrosse, yeah, this is one that also, we have a 2011 Buick LaCrosse, and we love the car, and if we were in a position that our finances were better, I'd absolutely buy a new one. I think they look great. I think, the luxury features that are in there, shame, but, similar reasons as everything in the list so far.
Is that a newer one?
That's a brand new.
Oh, okay, because it looks a lot different than ours.
Yep. Now, the XTS, the main reason why they're getting rid of this is it's built on the same platform as the Impala and the LaCrosse. Cadillac, there's talk that they're going away from sedans as well, but there's still a bit of panache in having a luxury, quote-unquote, luxury sedan. So, BMW's, Mercedes, they're not getting rid of their sedans. And I think that Cadillac will keep, their rear-wheel drive sedans, but this is a front-wheel drive, and it's not really... It's lived its life very well, and it's time for it to say goodbye. Oh, the Forester. Yeah, that's actually really surprising for me. I think, of course, the Forester's been kind of an oddball for Subaru. I think that now with the Ascent, the upsizing of the Outback and all that stuff, I can kind of see why they're getting rid of this. But I always heard pretty good things about. Oh, okay. I'm reading ahead. Okay, they're just ditching the XT variant, not the whole Focus. Okay. My bad. Okay, so the XT model didn't see a point of offering a more powerful turbocharged version of the crossover. I don't know. I kind of think it's cool, but hey, whatever. Ford Taurus. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Just going through like 16, 17 cars that are, going bye-bye after this year, and we've gone through a bunch of Fords, some Chevy or GM products, and Taurus is on that list, like just about every other Ford sedan, out there. So, yep. Bye-bye, Ford Taurus. You had a good run.
Sorry.
Cadillac ATS. Wow, that's kind of surprising.
I've never seen one of those before.
Smaller. It's the Cadillac smaller car. I think Yeah, I think it's not really quote unquote going away because they're just changing the styling and then the name's going to AT5 or what does it say there? CT5. So similar sort of thing, just getting rid of the ATS name. So not a big deal there.
No.
Volkswagen Beetle.
I love Beatles.
Yeah. But again, they had a really, really good run with the new Beetle. I think it lasted a lot longer in production than a lot of people ever thought. And it was just kind of a oddball, car for today's market. Volkswagen's got a lot of other, two-door hatchback cars that, if they're going back to really more of a Volkswagen Beetle style with a rear engine and all that other sort of stuff, it'd be a whole different car. But goodbye, Volkswagen Beetle. CT6, really? They just came out with this car like a couple of years ago, and that's, well, maybe it's Cadillac's circling the drain too. Yeah. Brand's first rear drive luxury sedan since the Fleetwood, discontinued in '96. The ATS, like the ATS, the CT6 was supposed to challenge your European rivals, although the big sedan did prove successful to some degree. Yep, sales never really took off. Well, see, that's the thing that I think that GM in general stinks at. They don't give any of their cars enough time to have it market penetration. They think that it's going to be out, it's going to look great, it's going to beat the world, and people are just going to flock to it. GM, it takes time. I know it. You've got to make money now, but you're making a crap ton of money off of your trucks and SUVs. Give the cars a chance. Yeah, well, I believe, Jason, that the Chrysler 300 actually has been selling. Oh, sales were crap. Well, yeah, but if you take the Charger, which is pretty much the identical car, I believe I read somewhere that sales are up for the Charger, which is cool. Anyways, let's get through the last couple of cars that are going bye-bye. Yeah. Not a big surprise. This is actually a Nissan vehicle rebadged as a Chevy. It's oddball sort of thing. I don't know,
Why is it even on the list? Why is anyone going to be surprised at that?
No, because they're not. Different market with the Charger. That is true. The Chrysler 300 is a little bit more upscale than the Charger. Oh no!
Ooh, interesting.
Mercedes AMG GTS. Well, then again, it's not really all that surprising because I do believe they just, Mercedes just came out with a. See you later, Neighborbag. Thanks for stopping in. You won't hear any of the spoilers from Transformers.
Or will you?
Nope, she won't. All right, so those are the cars that are being let go after this year.
I'm so sad about the bug.
Yeah, the bug is kind of a sad thing. All right, what else we got? No, we're not going to go with the coolest.
No, we close this one down?
Yeah, you can close that. Okay, so we're going to take a quick second and talk about the Detroit Auto Show that's coming up really soon. I was surprised to read today that there are 3 major manufacturers that are not going to be attending this year's Detroit Auto Show. Those 3 are BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. They will not be at the Detroit Auto Show this year, which kind of a surprise. I mean, Detroit's one of the, really the big 3 when it comes to, auto shows, and why they're deciding to skip out. I know that Audi's got tons of new product that's supposed to be, coming down the pike, and I'm assuming the same with BMW and Mercedes, but So that's kind of interesting. There are a few cars that we do know are going to be debuted at. Oh, that is a really good point. I forgot about the whole trade, car trading wars that are going on. So, yep. Thanks, Jason, for reminding me of that. Be surprised if we, here in the next few weeks, whether other German companies like Porsche and VW, but maybe they're not so upset. All right, so confirmed reveals for the Detroit Auto Show: the 2020 Toyota Supra, Subaru WRX STI S209, which is the mouthful, but it is a bigger, more, higher horsepower version of the STI. Will make a debut. The Shelby GT500 will be debuting at the Detroit Auto Show, and apparently VW will be going, because they're have confirmed that they will debut the new Jetta GLI at the Detroit Auto Show. Related news. Next year, 2020, bring up this real quick. The Detroit Auto Show will be moving to June in 2020. Although the Detroit Auto Show hosts some of the biggest vehicle debuts in the U.S. every year, the timing is less than ideal. Showgoers face the threat of sub-zero temperatures in January, and it's also butts heads with the Consumer Electronics Show, which has become a popular venue for unveiling new cars. Interesting. In an effort to reinvent the show, organizers have decided to move the event to June starting in 2020. Automakers are slowly disengaging from the traditional auto show cycle, which often preferring to debut vehicles at their own special events. Corvette! According to Automotive News, as I said, Audi, BMW, and Mercedes are skipping 2019, which will be held in January. Oh my gosh, we've got cats and a dog and everything running all over the place here. I think that's a good move. Gives it a little bit more time stretch between the major auto shows. November for was it December? LA, I think, is the beginning of December. Then you've got right now it's that, and then January you've got Detroit, and April you've got the New York Auto Show. So if you've got 3 or 4 months between each, it gives everybody a little bit more time to be able to relax and calm down from the previous show, and I think it's a good move, and I think it'll help Detroit out in the long run. Close that window. Oh, I already opened that up. Silly me. I don't know why I brought that window up. All right, last two things before we talk Bumblebee is a couple of things I got from Haggerty. I get a email from Haggerty, the insurance classic car insurance people. They're talking about the two are one's 7th hottest muscle cars of 2018, and then the 6th biggest game-changing auction sales in 2018. All right. 1986 Toyota Extra Cab Deluxe Pickup. So this is, if you're familiar with Back to the Future, imagine this in black, and that's Marty McFly's truck. This one, 86, scroll down lane, or Grace, sorry. Average number one condition. This was sold at Makem Auctions Kissimmee in 2018 for $18,700. Now that is a great looking pickup. Let's go back down a bit.
Scroll down?
Yeah, scroll so you can. All right. That is a great looking truck. It does not give like how many miles were on this thing, or whether it's a original or restored or whatever. But
Really nice.
that is a really, really nice used Tacoma right now. But I would rather have that one. All right. 90 Acura Integra Type R. This was sold at Barrett-Jackson, Las Vegas, 2018, for $63,800. They're showing these original kind of special edition Japanese cars that there is a market for them, and hopefully people will stop doing the Fast and Furious stuff with them, but we shall see. See, we've talked about red hot Hondas and Acuras a good bit of this year, but this 97 Integra Type R is a benchmark that other high sales of the year failed to reach. Type R's were making waves in the auction site Bring a Trailer, reaching 40K a handful of times. But this car sold at Barrett-Jackson. Oh, well, no wonder. 1,191 miles on that super cherry, super clean, super unmodified example. So I can definitely see $68,000 for a car that's hasn't even been broken in. Mercedes-Benz 500E. That's was it 93? $100,800. And that was at the Quail auction in Monterey. I don't see it unless that is a stupid low mile. No, 15,000 miles. 500E is lighter than the 500 SL sports car at the time, even with its extra set of doors. 5-liter V8 hides under the hood. No, I don't see that for $100,000.
No.
78 Mercedes 450 SLE 6.9 for $68,000. Oh no, sorry, that's the concourse value according to Haggerty. That's how much it's sold. $156,000. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing that price.
The one we just saw earlier.
Yep. Well, it's kind of the older version of that. 02 Mercedes. BMW M5 and E39 for $176,000. Hopefully that is another low miles. Yep, 500 miles on it. So I can see that being a really good, clean example. 500 miles. My lord, I wouldn't pay that kind of money for it. 75 BMW 2002 Turbo. That's cool. 192.5 for that, and that was at Gooding and Company Amelia Island auction. Super clean looking car, and I heard the 2002s are quite fun things to drive, and I could only imagine with a turbo that it's going to be that much better. I still don't know if I'd pay $192,000 for it, but I would. I do like that. I do like it. Okay.
Really short front, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a very small car to begin with. All right. Top 7 muscle cars of 2018. 64 to 67 Chevelles. I like it. I definitely think that that's worth the being the tops for 2018. GTOs, early GTOs, I'm all for that as well. I'm more fond of the 68 to 70s, but these are pretty cool as well. 68.9 Ford Fairlane, not bad. Ford Torino, which is the Ford Fairlane with a slanted back, in my opinion. I'm sure there's much more different with it. Okay, no. Yes, ooh. 68 to 70 Chargers, absolutely. Those are always going to be popular cars.
What?
okay. I can kind of see it. You know, 08 to 09 Pontiac G8. Aussie built sports sedan. I think these were way underrated, just like the Chevy SS when they turned it into the Chevy. The engine that you can get in there, the fact that you can get a manual, you know, they look pretty decent for you know, the size car that they are, and they had performance to boot. So, and the GTO. No, they're decent looking, but they never should have called it a GTO. Don't like that decision at all. Not a bad, you know, car for the era. This looks, in my opinion, more of a 90s car than, you know, 2000s. But hey, GM tried. Anything else there?
That's it. Yeah, that's number one.
All right.
Why?
I don't know. What? Oh, right. All right. So now, final thing second to final thing. Then she can finally get out of here. We just saw over the past couple days, we actually saw it twice. We went and saw the new Bumblebee movie. For those that aren't familiar, that is a new Transformers movie. Thank God it is not done. Michael Bay produced it, but he did not direct, and he was, you know, kind of a hands off on this movie, and thank God that he did. The story basically is how Bumblebee came to be on Earth, and the first human interaction that he yes 18-year-old girl named Charlie, played by Haley Steinfeld. Yep, singer for anyone that knows her from her singing. She also does a bunch of acting. 2 thumbs way up. I cannot say enough good things about the movie. Fantastic movie. The character development was really good. There were some great action scenes, but it was not the Michael Bay action scenes, so you could actually see who was fighting who. It was just, hey, Pete, how are ya? Michael Bay produced the movie. He did not direct. So Michael Bay had a small hand in this movie, but it's not it's not a Michael Bay directed movie. Travis Knight was the director on this one. From what you were saying, he's a fan of the franchise.
I think it was about like a week or two before the movie was released. He there's a screenshot on like his Instagram or something where it was a letter about him talking about how he was a fan of the franchise ever since he was a kid, like G1 original show. He said that he remembers being a kid and like playing with his Optimus Prime toy and like trying to do the iconic Peter Cullen voice. And so I was like, that's what made me excited for the movie, because he's a fan of the franchise. So
yeah. In some respects, I have not been disappointed with the Transformers movies. The first one, and then when they brought in Mark Wahlberg, replacing Shia LaBeouf, I think those movies are a little bit better. But I think this new Bumblebee movie it stars people that like the series. It's directed by somebody that likes the series. You can really tell from this movie that people that really enjoy and know their stuff were involved in this. It's not as long as the other movies, thank God, because I think The Last Night was almost 3 hours long.
The Last Night and Age of Extinction were both.
Yeah. I think they were just getting a little too long. trying to get too much info out, but this is great. Like I said, great character development, great action scenes they had the action scenes, great acting,
great story.
Yeah, I mean, just all around great movie. 2 thumbs up. We were kind of worried. She's more of a Transformers fan than I am, but I like the Transformers stuff. We were kind of worried when we saw it the first time because we were one of maybe a dozen people in the theater.
No, it was less than that. It was like 6 or 10 people max.
Okay, and that was on
Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Give me that up. They try to go into the human element a little too much, trying to catch up people who... yes. But I think this is what the Transformers universe has needed, is that a new start, and I think this is a great new start for the franchise. Getting people more involved. Like I say, first time we saw it was Wednesday, and maybe a dozen people in the theater. And then we went back and saw it again tonight. The theater was packed. There was 2 seats not filled. So that was really, great to see. There's a lot of young fans, a lot of probably 10 and younger, people there. I sat next to a mother and a daughter and a friend that were there to watch it. So it was kind of cool to see more females coming into that sort of a brand that's been, in my opinion, more male centric. But yeah, 2 thumbs up. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going and checking it out. If not, definitely watch it when it comes to
DVD.
Yeah, what she says. And also, if you guys are interested in more Transformers stuff, she is a Transformers fairly close to what I would call a guru. Knows a lot about it. And if you guys want to hear more about Transformers, I'll get her to start doing Transformer comic reviews or something. She doesn't want to do them, but I'm trying to get her to be more involved. Anything else you want to say about the movie?
No, I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay. All right. If you want to take off, you can, or you can sit here.
Oh, I'll go.
Okay. Love you. All right. So, got a bunch of mess down here. Anyway, last little stuff. Hey, see you later, Pete. Oh, are you saying bye to her? Yeah. So what I'm decided after a whole lot of soul searching and figuring out how to best move the channel forward. I have, as you know from any of the videos you've seen, focused on car shows, showing all the cars that are there, unless the show is huge and I have to do the flyby stuff. But I'm noticing in my view counts that any of the videos that I do that are individual style videos, with just one specific car, that those seem to be getting more views and more consistent views after the fact. So I'm still going to be going to car shows. I'm going to see time-wise whether I can do, a flyby of the whole, show that whatever show I go to. But the main focus of what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be finding specific cars that I find interesting, whether they're oddball cars or whether they're just a great example of, say, a 67 Camaro, whatever, and doing a more intense video on that vehicle, hopefully talk to the owners, get their thoughts on why they may have, painted it a certain color or whatever it might be, and go from there. Yeah, car show videos are really slow to get views. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I also, I've been kind of resisting it because it's a little out of my comfort zone to go and convince people to let me do it, but I'm fairly decent friends with a small used car dealership in the area, and I'm going to talk to them about maybe doing some reviews of the cars that they have for sale. I talked to him just about when I started the channel about doing videos and getting paid to do videos for him because their website doesn't have anything. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about is, at least 3 or 4. And if not, while they're at the car show, if I can convince them to let me come by, say their house, their business, wherever the car is, and do a video of them, later on, then hopefully people really like to see videos with interviews with the car owners. Yeah, that's the hope. I did done that with a couple of cars, the individual stuff, and yeah, like it has definitely gotten much better views initially and over time. But I'm hoping that people might enjoy the car reviews as well. The dealership, I did ask, like I say, 2 years, just about the time I started this, about making videos for his website and getting paid for it, but they're like, well, no, it's just not something we want to do. So I'm just going to go and take it a different step and just say, hey, I'm going to do these videos. I'd like to do videos of your cars. If you want to put it on your website, great. If it helps you sell cars, great, but I just need something to do, and that's what I want to do. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll keep you guys informed whether that's something that will be happening in the future. So what's going to be next for a video on here? I've taken a bit of a break for the holidays. The car reviews are lowest. You've got a lot. The new car dealerships, I'm not. I'd rather do. I'm trying to. I don't know why not to do a new car dealership. Think probably because they've all been done. There's videos out there for just about every new car under the sun, but if you're looking at a 2004, Toyota Avalon, it's kind of a, oddball thing. And how is it held up after, 14 years of being on the road? I got to find my spin and my twist, but that's definitely something to ponder on as well. So the final video for this year is going to be a recap of 2018, all the videos that I've done, how many videos I've done, how many views I've gotten over the last year, subscribers, just a good wrap up of the channel. Where I go from there is kind of up in the air too. Figuring out what to do. Oh, the refresh one? Well, see, that's kind of a problem for me being in Vermont. There aren't. I've checked at my local Chevy dealership. They do not have one of the new Camaros, possibly in the showroom. I did not look in the showroom. And being snow, ice, and all the other good crap right now, I'm not gonna have access to one of those cars until spring. So that might be, something that I'll do then. But by then, 3 or 4 months from now, when I can actually do one, there might be other people that have finally, gotten around to do it. I don't think, as far as the new Camaro goes, I don't think the looks are as bad as everybody says. They're not great, but they're not as bad. Hey, Than, how are you? Oh, no, he's hiding. And maybe someday I'll actually get a better setup of, all this. But hey, anyways. Yeah, so wrap-up video, I'm going to be doing that. That'll be uploaded New Year's Eve for your viewing pleasure. And we will see you guys on the next live stream on January. Let's see. What is that going to be? The 4th? 3rd? Gosh. Can't believe we're already going to get into 2019. January 4th will be the next live stream. And can't wait to start 2019 off and see where the channel goes. So thank you guys for tuning in and the great helpful comments. No matter how many people do them, everyone does them different. Yeah. Thanks, Pete, for the encouragement. I will work on the dealerships here, and maybe I'll try to get some trucks. I know one vehicle that I will absolutely be doing a review of will be the Jeep Gladiator when it comes out. That is on my list of the next new vehicle that I buy. I've got a lot to do before I get to that purchase. Fixing credit and, job and all that good stuff. But that will be my next brand new vehicle, will be a Jeep Gladiator. Love that thing. I cannot wait for it to come out. There will be a review of that. Anyways. All right, guys. Thank you again for sticking in and hearing me ramble. Go out and check out Bumblebee if you haven't already. It is a great movie. Have a day. Hopefully it's a good one.
Go that way.